really like the haunted deck effect. It's a really strong effect. People love really visual haunting magic tricks. This trick really gets great reactions. People seem to love it. There are other haunted deck versions out there. This is one that I learned when I was a kid, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first off how to make the deck. It's pretty easy to make. It's a really strong effect, but once you make this, you can perform this anytime you like. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need a deck of cards. I use bicycle cards. These are great cards. So make sure you get a deck of cards that you don't mind destroying, at least, you know, I'd say not destroying, but modifying to be able to use for this specific effect. To make it, you're also going to need a hole punch. You're going to need some thread. I'm using some nylon thread. This stuff is pretty strong. You're going to want a thread that doesn't easily break. You're going to need some super glue. You're also going to need a safety pin. This is how I do it. When you get a new deck, you have a couple jokers, and you have like usually 2 extra cards. So what I like to do is when I prepare this trick, I like to use the jokers and one of these extra cards, because these cards are what's going to make one of the gimmick, or part of the gimmick for this trick. And I'll show you why. What you're going to do is you're going to take one of the joker, or any one of these cards really. I'm going to take the joker, and you're going to punch 3 holes in it kind of towards the center. Alright, so I'm going to show you that I do that real quick. I kind of do it in a triangle shape. Okay, so now I've got 3 holes like that in the center of the card. Now you're going to take the other card, the other joker, and you're going to punch a hole right in the center. So now I've got one with a hole right in the center. So now you got one with 3 and one with 1 hole, and you should have an extra card. Now you can either use this extra card or you can take one from the deck, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use this extra card. And then this is what you're going to do with your thread. You're going to take your thread, you're going to spool some of it off. You're going to thread it through the center of the card that has only 1 hole. Okay. And then you're going to kind of weave it through the card that has 3 holes. This is where your super glue is going to come in play. Now you're going to put a dab of super glue on the thread so it doesn't come off, and I put a little bit of it all over the card and a little bit in the center. And then I'm going to take a playing card and I'm going to line up the edges of this card and glue it all together so it looks like one card. Now we're going to take this other card. It has one hole in the center of it, and we're basically going to glue it down to the center of these other two cards that are glued together with the thread going through it. Now, so you should have essentially 3 cards that are glued together to make one card. Now we have, it looks like one card. It's essentially 3 cards glued together to make one. And now you're going to reel off quite a long piece of this thread. This is probably a little too much, but it's okay. It's better to have too much than not enough when you set this up. Now we have this card, and it's got a long piece of thread coming off of it. All right, just like that. Now we can set this aside. Now you're going to take your deck of cards, okay, a deck of cards, and you're just going to want to shuffle them up, mix them up. It's a brand new deck, so they're going to, once all the cards are mixed up really well, you're going to want to cut the deck just a little more than half. Okay, so you have a majority of the cards are cards that you're going to modify, but you're going to have, you can see the difference here. Okay, so the larger portion of the deck you're going to have to modify. You're going to have to punch a hole right through the center. Now there's an easy way to do this, and it's just with a hole punch. Now, or you could just take this half of a deck of cards and you can take it to like a printing shop or an Office Max or something like that, and they can usually just punch a hole in the center of the deck, you know, one straight shot. But I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just going to take a pile of cards at a time. This will just take a few moments. I've got about 5 or 6 at a time, and I'm just going to punch a hole right in the center. Now that I've got my holes punched through all the cards, you can see it right in the center. Now these cards aren't going to be easy to slide around, so you're probably going to want to work them in your hands a little bit just to get them used to being moved a little bit. I basically spread them out like this while pinching the center of them to try to get them a little smooth again, because it's going to take a minute. All right, so now you've got half a deck with a hole in it, and you've got your gimmicked piece right here. Now you're going to find the end of that thread, and you're going to thread it through the center of the deck. Okay. Just like that. Now, all the cards fit together. They're all held together, just like that. Now you're going to take the other half of the deck that does not have any holes punched in it, and you're going to set it on top. So now, it looks like I have a regular deck of cards. So I have it going, the string going from my hand down to my knee, and under my knee, and on over here to my other leg. and I have it safety pinned to this leg. Now you're usually at a table when you do this, so they're not going to see this string coming up. And this string that I'm using is very thin, and it's hard to see it in a lower light, especially if you're at a bar or at the dinner table. Now, what you do is you can have up to 3 people pick a card out of the deck, and all you have to do is fan out the deck and only fan out the top portion of the deck. Don't get to the bottom half of the deck. Okay? You can have up to 3 people pick a card, so I'm just going to pick out 3 random cards right off the top. The first one, you're going to thumb through just the top portion of the deck, and you're going to push it in to the side of the deck. Okay? Now it's going to take up a little slack from the string here. The second one, you're going to deal a little bit further down. Okay? But you're going to push it into the top, just like that. And then the third one, you're going to deal a little bit further down, and you're going to push it into the side of the deck. Alright? Now all you have to do is hold it flat in your hand and then pull your legs apart. And the deck will move around very spooky like. And take out each and every card that was chosen. Now you don't have to do 3 cards, you can do 1 card, but it can do up to 3 different reveals. So here it is again. This is what it looks like if you do 1. Just like that. And if you want to do it to the side, you can. Just like that.
No? Is that your card? Go ahead and open it up.
Oh my gosh, how did you do that?